Yes, I had some issues unmuting myself there, but yeah, like Molly said, um, super excited for the bowl announcement. Obviously, that's what myself and 11 other guys came back to the team this year for an extra year for. As we wanted to go out and play in a bowl game. We have a bunch of guys on the team that are from Texas. I lived there for 3 years. I almost feel like I'm from Texas myself. So I'm really excited to get back there. In the Armed Forces Bowl, we've done a ton of stuff to honor our men and women service in the services so far this year. So we're really excited about that. I've actually played Army once before, faced that triple option and all the cut blocks before. And it was a close game, but we ended up losing last second in the fourth quarter. So I'm excited to hopefully get some payback for that. But all in all, we've just been really excited. We've had some great practices before we even knew, but I think this announcement is going to turn us up even more, and we're ready to get going.
And we'll start with Lila Bromberg.
Hey, Blaze. Like the posters in the background, by the way. Coach Drinkwitz mentioned that you guys, had some practices this past weekend, and that those were kind of, different than what you've had throughout the season. Could you just walk me through, what that was like for you guys and how that's differed from when you're preparing for a normal game week?
Yeah, well, when you don't have the game plan stuff that you got to put in, you really get to go back and focus on the fundamentals a little bit. And on top of that, you also get to go back to having some, friendly competition between you and the rest of the guys on the team. So it was really nice, just to get a lot of individual periods, to get with Coach Smith and focus on some technique things that we haven't gotten able to hit in a while. I personally felt like I was able to get better as a player this weekend. And we were also able to have some really fun competitions, some red zone competitions, some 2-minute competition stuff. And it was honestly just a really good back and forth between offense and defense that was, making practice, even though it was 18 periods, on the weekend, it felt like it flied by and we were just all having fun, enjoying it. So it was a little bit like fall camp, but, just better weather and better vibes, I would say.
Ben Arnett.
Hey, Blaze, as I'm sure you're well aware, Texans are a proud people. How excited are your 17 Texas teammates to go back home?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was huge for all of them. And as soon as we got the announcement, you've already got guys, you can see the change in their face, and just being back in the hometown, in your home state, I think really gives a lot of guys like a sense of confidence and comfort that I think makes a big difference. So that's going to be huge for them. I'm excited for them to, get all their families there and have the chance to play in front of them in case maybe they haven't been able to make it to any other games, So, it's really just going to be a great experience. The DFW area is beautiful too, getting a chance to go through everything with that. So, and then having enough guys on the team, that they can kind of give you the inside on what's what around there and get the most out of your week of both.
Yeah, Blaze, I'm curious. I mean, from the outside, everybody kind of watches this whole day unfold and like everybody says, well, this team should go here and this team should go there and all that. As a player, like, what's this day like? And does it matter to you guys, hey, which game, which opponent, all that, or you just, hey, we get to play another game. That's great.
Yeah. I mean, obviously as all the players, you have a little bit of fun taking part in the speculations. I'm not going to say that it necessarily matters, but, we do have a little fun. Everybody wagering like, oh, I think we're going to go to this one, play them, and, this one, play them. And the funniest thing about it is, I talked to several guys about it and nobody predicted this. So clearly we didn't have any idea what was going on. But everybody, especially us super seniors, we're just excited for the opportunity to play anywhere, anyone again, and have it be in a bowl game and have that special experience. So, it's my first time and my last time, but everything so far, I haven't even gotten to the actual bowl game yet, but from these practices to the announcement, It's all just been a great experience so far.
Eric Blum.
Hey Blaze, as someone who's played against it and seen it before, just can you describe how tough it is to stop the triple option, and what advice would you give your teammates about how to best prepare for what Army has?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously they gotta do some drills preparing for the cut blocks. I'd say this, that we got to make sure that we go in with the right mindset, that it's going to be a dogfight. And I think the biggest difference, and I know it's the biggest difference when we played them, is you've got the triple option, and that's difficult to defend because even though it's so little, it all looks the same. That's where they sneak all those cut blocks, just chunking away at you. But you can't get locked into the monotony of those drives, because what hurt us during my time when we played them at Rice was we ended up falling victim to one of their only pass plays of the game, that ended up going for a big one that was the touchdown that made the difference, So the hardest part is the triple option itself is difficult to prepare for, but you can't let yourself get lulled to sleep and then give up that one big play that's going to be the difference maker.
Wilson Moore.
And Blaze, having played at Rice before and now you're going back to Texas for a bowl, is there any sense of just like things coming full circle for you here at the end?
Yeah, it's kind of like I was telling one of my teammates, it's almost poetic. I did some time on the East Coast, did some time on the West Coast, found myself in the middle at Houston. Then I took a little trip up to the Midwest, and finally I get to end my college career pretty close to where it really began. So it's going to be a great, opportunity. I know that I've got a lot of former teammates and friends, that are going to look to support me in their home state. And also just even the chance of getting to play an old opponent again, that I lost a close game to. I think getting a chance to, even the score with them is just another thing that really pulls it all together. So when I look back on my whole, college football experience and everything that happened, I just couldn't think of a better ending for it.
Benjamin Hockman. Oh, sorry, I'm muting you, sir.
Hey, Blaze. Coach Drinkowitz, we just interviewed him, and he said that there's going to be an open competition for starting quarterback in this game. So since you're a defensive player and you play against these guys a lot in practice and you know how it works, can you just give us a little insight to Macon and Cook and just what you've seen from them at practice and over the year?
Yeah, and, a big thing that I've seen from both of those guys is that they do anything for the program, and that they definitely have their own individual talents that I think that they do well, that they bring to the offense. And I think both those guys are professionals that have always prepared as such, and I've got full confidence in whatever Coach Drink's decision is for whatever quarterback. I know those guys are going to put the work in over these next 17 days, and they're going to be ready and they're going to give us their best.
If you've got a question for Blaze, please use the raise hand.
Hey Blaze, I used to live in the state of Texas myself, and I can understand just how crazy everything is down there. Just can you describe for those who don't know just what it's like living in Texas and how crazy people get down there with football and just living in Texas in general?
Yeah, well, I mean, when it comes to football, Texas is just on a whole different level, I think, than really any other state. And that really just speaks to the culture that it has regarding that. They've got a different level of pride, in being Texans and in Texas high school football and things of that nature than anybody else. It's funny because I was in the Houston part of Texas, so we had a lot of guys that are from Dallas, and even just between the two of them, I can remember lots of heated arguments between, Houston and Dallas in that area. So really, for a guy like me that's moved around a lot and isn't really from anywhere, it's a marvel to see people that have such pride in their identity and where they're from. And I think Texas really probably personifies that as good as anywhere else in the United States.
Any further questions for Blaze? If you've got the raised hand. I'm also recording this. All right, thanks so much, y'all. I'll be in touch soon as